What's the one thing that you want everybody to know about bonds? And don't screw this up, because this is it. This is your opportunity.
This is it.
All right. I think honestly, the one thing that I want people to know is that you can do it. Like, you can do them. It's not going to be a mission suck. It's not going to be a time suck. But there are things that you need to, basically capabilities that you may need to have, things that you need to know, but you can do it. Like, it's a good additional revenue stream for the agency if you can create the automations that need to be had, or partner with someone that may have them, to help drive that additional revenue source for your agency, to continue to build and grow some of the sticky relationships, and then to have really great cross-selling opportunities in other lines of insurance.
Oh.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
I have some family in the business, and it was funny. Like, we're all buying a ton of leads, and we'd, one person would be like, "Oh, we just sold one of the people that you quoted," because we all bought the same leads, and it was awesome. So much fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's this really interesting community that, I mean, I haven't seen it in a lot of other industries. I mean, especially in Surety, like it is a really tight knit niche of larger industry where, like, you just get to know everybody that's in this area and in this community. You see repeat names all the time, especially doing these conference circuits. Like, I get to see folks that hey, I met, your Southeast rep when we were in, Georgia, but also get to see, someone else who has that same connection out in Wisconsin. Right. And so we get to be all over the place and create these relationships. And I think it's been really huge. I'm really excited about it.
Jackson, we talked a little bit about like leveraging this as something on the front end, but how about during the sales process? Are there questions that sales agents could ask that would maybe identify opportunity for this?
Yeah, definitely. No, I think the big one is still going to be, is really that industry type, right? I mean, I think you don't even necessarily need to ask at that point, where as far as like, it's not necessarily even a leading question. It's like, okay, I'm quoting, a, general liability policy for a contractor. Okay, this contractor is in the state of California, or is in Arizona, or is in whatever state they may be in. Okay, I'm just going to follow it up with, all right, this is the extra little piece of information that I need to be able to quote a bond that I know you need to be licensed. Right. Yeah. I think there's like some kind of minor follow-ups that you can see within where they stand in that respect, and take it from there and create that cross-selling opportunity. It's really important.
So now we got Chat GPT that everybody talks about constantly. How has that impacted anything, or how do you see that will impact your world?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for one, like, as far as just content creation, right? I mean, obviously you can't trust it in its entirety, but a lot of what we do on the content creation side is we create these like individual pages that help our agents to better understand what this one bond may or may not be, or what they may need to apply for it, why it's required, so on and so forth. But as a test, when I was messing with it, I took it and I said, okay, I want you to tell me every single bond that's required for this type of license, what the limit is, what the amount is, and it spat it out, and it gave me like 75-80% correct answer. I asked it to refine, and it kept giving me this information is only valid through like 2021.
Right.
Okay, fine, all right, we'll take it as it comes. But no, it does a really good job to give some of that information, create some of that content curation. But I mean, I see it, getting it to a point where it can connect to a database, right? Where it's actually connecting to an agent system or our system, feeding information back to the customer. Like, hey, it's like almost self-service, but they feel like they're interacting with a live person. I think that would be an interesting area where I could see that going. I mean, when we talk about like AI, I mean, there's I'm not sure, have you guys heard of Synthesia? So it does a similar process like video AI. So like you can give it a video of your face this way, turn this way, give it the side view, and it will basically create, it's a video of you, and then you can type into it. and tell it what you want to basically tell it what you want to say. Yeah, it's a deep fake. I mean, it's something else. But Synthesia. Yeah.
Well, we won't ever have to work again.
I mean, so like we're doing these live action videos and like, okay, you know, you need me for maybe one, and then you got my face and just go for it. But no, I think bringing AI into some of that content curation, you know, I think some of our agents will do like video proposals, which I think is pretty cool, but having it do something like that as well, where you're typing in what that video is, and then you only have to shoot the video once, and it has the leverage and the capability to continue to grow so that you don't necessarily have to deal with it all that much.
So good.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I mean, already you can run Chat GPT through Zapier and get it to come up with answers and then have that shoot into an email. So that would be interesting if it was like somebody asked a question and then like based on the answer and like a video conversation starts with.
Right.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It'd be really cool.
Well, and I've seen many of the responses I think are much more acceptable than some of the things I've heard from some employees over the years. You know, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty darn good. Yeah. I mean, especially like, I mean, we'll ask it a really like niche question about any like product line, and it doesn't do a bad job. Like it's pretty darn good.
It's like 70%, you know, of the way there.
Yeah.
So you're really cutting down on a lot.
And you get to a point where you can train that thing too, where like it's a little minor improvements, but I mean, yeah, it's definitely I think it's definitely going to have a big impact once it gets to a point where like it's out of this beta stage and you can actually integrate it into formal systems and have it learn from those systems and that data that you already have and what you're already collecting.
And what's remarkable is 4.0 is only a month old.
Yeah.
Like think about that, a month old, and it's smarter than all of us.
Yeah. It's like, how much longer are we going to last?
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, it's interesting because we've had a lot of conversations with different vendors about different things, and like our editor for the book that we're releasing and like we said, so do you think that that your jobs are all right? And they're like, oh yeah, everything's fine. I'm just thinking, dude, I think that this machine can read much faster than you can, right? And I mean, it's almost there.
Yeah, you gotta really think about it. Like, are you sure it's okay?
Yeah,
sure it's okay.
I mean, the car can drive by itself almost, right? Like everything is right there.
Yeah, and then the implications of it too. I mean,
yeah. I think critical thinking is now the most important skill, because even getting to the right answer on using Chat GPT or something like that, it takes a little digging. It takes some constant refining, and then just creativity using all these different pieces, right? It's like a bunch of tools. So now like the littler the tasks aren't as necessary to have other people do, or maybe even do ourselves. So now it's like we're moving up that ladder of really just creativity and critical thinking. That's it.
Well, it kind of allows you to expand that horizon, right? So like now that your time is not necessarily taken up with, okay, I have to have these minute answers to all these little questions. Okay, I can have something take that off of my plate. It's almost like this like weird style of delegation. Where like you're delegating to an AI, right? But then you got the time, as you mentioned, to have that creative space to think critically. You see these problems that are emerging and be able to find really unique and really foundational solutions to them. So no, I think that it needs to be seen certainly as a benefit and as a tool, and not something that's going to be like, it's like fear driven, right? Yeah.
It is interesting too, how it learns. And I like did something where I was telling it to do something, and I said, once you learn this, and then it said, I'm actually a blah, blah, blah. I can't really learn in the sense that humans can. I basically can take information, and then when presented additional information from that, I can change my decision knowing the new details. So, something along those lines. And I said, I thought that's learning. Isn't that what learning is? And I said, isn't that learning? And then it said, well, I suppose it could be considered learning. You know, like
there you go. Yeah, it's like
these wild conversations with it.
Yeah.
It's freaking. It is pretty insane. You know,
Mhm.
and it's so much better than Google now.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, Google's got its own version too. I think Bard, and I haven't messed with that one as much. But I've
Well,
definitely had.
that's second to market.
Yeah.
You got it. First to market's the one that wins.
Yeah. Every time.
the crazy thing about Google and what I read recently is that their first results are going to be AI based on the website, which
Oh wow.
is crazy for anybody with SEO and everything, because now they're, the first list is going to be beneath that. And so they're pulling a lot of the information from videos. So videos are now becoming even more important. So for agents out there that haven't gotten into video, I think that's incredibly important. I think it's really important to make some sort of, for any business owner, some sort of footprint out on the interwebs where people can learn a little bit about you, because it's that whole conversation of, it's kind of like dating, right? Like people want to kind of see what you're like, see if maybe, is this somebody I'd even want to talk to?
Yeah.
And then
am I going to swipe right? Like,
yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, I'll talk to them. Like, well, maybe I just kind of want to see, like, how are they handling services, and then it's like, so it's like that whole cold to sold. It's, it really primes the person. It creates a relationship without doing anything. So I think it's like imperative to have some of that going.
It's really important. And we talked to our team so much about just multimedia versions of content. So you can have written, you can have infographic, you can have video, and having a presence of all three is, it's super important. And I really think that there's a lot of uniqueness in video, because look, let's say your page doesn't rank number one, but your video does and your image does. Well, eventually your page is going to rank number one.
Right.
So it's, I think I completely agree with that sentiment for sure.
Yep. And it's funny too, because I know for captive agents, it's one of those things where we can't say the company's name. So there's like a lot of stuff we can't do. We can't base it off their, we can't base anything off of their image or anything. But what's cool is just start something on the side, because when you hire someone, they're going to look you up, and they can find out whether or not you guys have the same, principles, the same core values and stuff. And same with your clients. So I think that even if you're not trying to put out content all the time, just get some pieces of content that people can see what you're about if they're Googling you.
Absolutely.
And it'll suck at first. Or you can be 600 episodes in like us and still suck.
It's so funny though, because it's so true though. Because the first videos that we put together and working with our marketing team on, really dialing these things in. Oh man, you go back now and it's like, hey, we were running this on our computer audio. We had no idea as far as what kind of slide transitions or how we wanted the whole thing to process. And you listen to the ones that we do now, and it's night and day. You got to start somewhere though. That's just it. You got to start. And it's completely agree.
Awesome. So if there's one thing that you wanted everybody to know about bonds,
sure, what
would that one thing be?
Before you answer that question though, do you guys ever make James Bond jokes?
Ooh, that's a better question.
That's a good one.
It's important.
I wish that it would come up more frequently. I will say, not necessarily as a James Bond joke, but one thing that we did do. So we had the team hit a sales goal, right? And I told them look, you guys hit this number, right? I will come into the office dressed as William Wallace from Braveheart. And so they did it, and blue paint, whole thing, and they did it in 2 weeks. And I was like, son of a gun. Okay, well, all right. So I came in, it was a full kill, whole thing. So we don't hit on the James Bond jokes as much, but we do have some self-deprecating humor. It does come.
That's a good idea.
I love it.
So it was a whole wig, sword. It was pretty.
Do you feel that your team performed better when they knew that they were gonna make you uncomfortable versus some kind of big reward?
I think it depends on what the reward is. It does. So I think it can go both ways, but more so, I think the thing is having a set goal on that horizon where it's like, okay, here's what we're trying to achieve. This is what we're working towards. Instead of just saying, hey, we want to grow 20% for the year, right?
Right.
It's too far out in advance. Like, okay, no, like how are we going to chunk that down? What is the individual action that we're going to have to take on a day in, day out basis to achieve that goal? And then what are some fun things that we can do in the middle that, look, I'm going to tell you, like, me dressing up as William Wallace is not going to be like, hey, here's 10 grand in your bank account. Like, that's not the same. It's not going to have that long lasting value, but it's something fun and something tangible that we can do in that moment that will lead to that 10 grand in your bank account.
Right.
Right. And so, like, there are little things that I think that we implement on those. So, like, we hit a record month. Let's go out to dinner. Let's go grab a beer. Let's do something that we're doing as a team together, build that culture, continue to build the camaraderie amongst the team members, and, and let everybody know that we're in this together. I mean, it's
cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Same principles in the agency. And that's exactly what we do for our teams as well. And I think that's super important to have that kind of clarity. But like, I love what you said about having smaller goals, right? Because like us as business owners, we see a little bit further out. That's why we decided to take on this role, because we see the bigger picture, and our teams usually see a smaller picture because they're, working for that paycheck in 2 weeks or whatever. So like the smaller you can set those small wins to for the carrots, it's so important.
Yeah. I think I just finished reading so The Art of Impossible by Stephen Kotler. And that's like one of his big principles. Like, when you're setting that, like, is massively transformational purpose, like, there's this huge, like, what is my life's accomplishment? What is my life's goal going to be? Well, you can't just, like, set out to complete your life's goal in 3 days. Like, no, you have to dial it back. You got to scale it in. What are these daily things that I can do that are going to allow me to achieve that impossible goal? What's going to bring me to allow me to achieve that dream? And is that a dream that's within work? Is that a dream that's within just life? Is this for my family? Is this for me personally? Whatever that may be, it's chunking it down. It's day at a time. It's looking back at, okay, these are the things that I accomplished. All right, am I in a rut? All right, let's focus on big 4: sleep, exercise, gratitude, mindfulness. Like, there are things that we can do to continue to bring ourselves back up when those days get challenging. And yeah, I found a lot of value in that book, and I finished it just like a week ago. It's great.
100%. So Jackson, how do you eat an elephant?
How do I eat an elephant? Oh, bite at a time.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's basically what he said with all that other stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's the third grade version that I
love it. No, I
don't like elephant. Tastes like chicken.
Okay. Did you go ahead? I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, in the same vein, there's their guy, the Frenchman, who literally ate a plane. Same concept, but bite at a time. He ate an airplane. He ate an airplane. Yeah.
For real.
Yes, for real.
Like a 747?
I don't remember specifically the plane.
It couldn't be a 747.
He ate an airplane. It was a big one, though.
Who would donate their 747 for that?
Yeah, I will need to. I'll send an email back over. I can't remember the guy's name, but he literally ate an airplane.
And I bet it was one bite at a time.
Google.
Yeah,
time to Google.
Or Chat GPT. If it happens,
but then you're going to get the wrong name. Yeah. So let's go back to the bond question. What's the one thing that you want everybody to know about bonds? And don't screw this up, because this is it. This is your opportunity.
This is it.
All right. I think, honestly, the one thing that I want people to know is that you can do it. Like, you can do them. It's not going to be a mission suck. It's not going to be a time suck. But there are things that you need to, basically, capabilities that you may need to have, things that you need to know, but you can do it. Like, it's a good additional revenue stream for the agency if you can create the automations that need to be had, or partner with someone that may have them, to help drive that additional revenue source for your agency, to continue to build and grow some of the sticky relationships, and then to have really great cross-selling opportunities in other lines of insurance.
Oh,
so,
there it is.
JC, the special agent 007 bond man.
There we go.
Thank you so much. It's been awesome. We've gotten away from having folks that aren't agents on, but this has been really refreshing. I think that we want to bring some other folks that can help serve agents too, just to create some
Yes.
perspective. So, so thank you very much. It was really awesome to have you on.
I really appreciate the time. Yeah, Jason and Craig, thank you. And
Yeah.
I will say, just as a quick shout out, Jason, I listened to the last episode that you published in regards to just having those kind of rough mornings at home. And it just really resonated with me. So I just want to let you know, I appreciate you being public and letting that out. It was really great.
Nice.
Thank
Awesome,
you,
man. Thank you. Which one was that?
It was, you had just gotten in a fight with your wife.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That was for real. That was
We could drop that. Each of us drop that episode every single day.
Dude, I
yeah,
don't think
no,
Craig
it's
didn't
a tough
hear
one.
that. Like
I did.
literally-
I need to listen to it.
Dude, I literally got in a fight that day and I was like,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just, I think it's big to just be able to like take that humble pie and be like, look, no, what's the point? Why are we doing this? What's the benefit to the family? And what's our long-term goal here? And no, it just, it really resonated with me. So I just wanted to let you know just how much I appreciate being able to listen to that.
cool,
Oh,
man.
that's
I
awesome.
appreciate that. I love the feedback. Awesome.
I appreciate that you appreciate it, and that he appreciated you appreciated it.
Well, thank you, Jackson, for going
absolutely.
the distance today.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, how can they get it? Where can they find you?
Oh, for sure. All right. Yes. I got to have a little plug, right? So we have our website. It's bondexchange.com. Any agent that would like to basically get set up or have a resource for Surety, they just need to click. There's a yellow gain access button right on the homepage. Or if you want to reach out to me directly, it's just my email. It's just jackson.cromer@bondexchange.com. Happy to serve as a resource in any way, shape, or form for anyone who wants to just learn a little bit more about Surety, learn a little bit more about how they can kind of build that as an additional revenue stream. And any questions they may have, just send them my way.
No.
There you go.
There it
Thank
is.
you, Jackson.
Thanks, Jackson.
Thank you guys.
You have a good one, man.
I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a good one.
Yep.
Bye, y'all.